excited to be up here to talk in front of you guys. I know I've seen a bunch of you and interacted with a bunch of you, but I'm privileged to be able to share what God has done in my life and kind of give y'all a little bit of what God has given me. I've been wrestling about what I would talk to you about, but God's given me a piece about it. So I'm originally from Memphis, Tennessee, born and raised. My mother and father got divorced when I was 5 years old. So growing up in Memphis in a single parent home, black kid, the stereotype, like Roger said, we're either going to be on drugs, we're going to be in jail, or whatever. We're going to be nothing. We're going to be a statistic. But my mom, being the strong woman that she is, and my mom was sitting right here in the front row, I tell her that I love her because she made me into the man that I am. I'm a mama's boy, and I'm proud to say it. If any of y'all know me and my mom, we love each other. But my mom, she took it upon herself that she was going to put us in a position to be successful. And that position to be successful was through sports. Since I can remember, I was on a court with a basketball in my hand. My sister and brother were on a court with a basketball in their hand. I was on the field with a football in my hand. That's what I did. That's what my mom brought us up to do to keep us out of trouble. Being a single black kid in Memphis, we had to do something to keep out of trouble, and that was my thing. Growing up, man, I gave my life to Jesus when I was 8 years old. Didn't really mean anything to me. It was a thing more of my mom was pinching me to go up there to do it. So it was something that I wanted my mom to be proud, like Sparkman talked about. And so I went and did it, but really didn't understand what it meant. Lived my life, man, just like any other kid, knowing about Jesus, but not really living for him. I can remember I played AAU basketball with this kid, man. His name was Chris Mosby. Y'all remember that name. It's going to come back around. But he was probably one of the best kids in the country in basketball or whatever. We got to play AAU together. And he was a kid that I looked up to. We kind of get separated through middle school. I was coming up, I was the man in everything I did. I started on every team that I was on, never got told that I wasn't good enough for something. So as I went to high school, I decided to go to Christian Brothers High School, more for sports, if you ask me, more for education, if you ask my mom. But I decided to go to Christian Brothers, and the first person that met me on the steps of Christian Brothers was my buddy Chris Mosby. And so when I came in, he took me under his wing, kind of like a big brother to me, man. If there was somebody that was as close to me as family could be, as any person outside of your family could be, he was as close as that was. Blood wouldn't make us any closer. That was the dude I loved, man. We played basketball and football together, so when we went out and played sports, people thought of Chris and Chris at Christian Brothers. So that was what we knew. That was what people thought of us. We were the men in Memphis. So I can remember going into my junior year of football, his senior year, he is getting recruited by everybody in the country. All-American football player, All-American kid, everybody in the city of Memphis knew him and loved him. And it was to a point where after our football season, losing the state championship, he decided that he wasn't going to play basketball his second semester. So I was kind of upset with it because I wanted my boy to be there so we could dominate, possibly win a state championship. And so I told him I understood, it's cool, we'll play ball, we'll still be boys. We go to a tournament in Destin, Florida every year, and I can remember standing on those same steps that I met Chris on, and I told him, hey man, I wish you were coming with us. He's like, yeah, I do too. I said, well, we'll get up. He said, yeah, call me when you get back. We'll go have dinner, we'll hang out, we'll do whatever. So I said, cool, I love you too. He went his way, I went my way. We go down to Florida, get bounced out of there, and we're on our way back from Florida, 9 hours. And I can remember Chris's words, something, hit me up when you get back. So I don't know if y'all know about cricket phones. How many of y'all know about cricket phones? The local phones, don't act like y'all don't know about it. But cricket phones, man, if you had a cricket, if you went out of the city, you couldn't talk to nobody. So when I got back to Memphis, I got text message after text message after text message of people texting me while I was in Florida. So I'm looking through my phone book trying to get to Chris's number, and I get all these text messages. So I get ADD, forget to call him, forget to text him. Go home, get home probably about 1 o'clock in the morning, go to bed because I'm tired. 7 o'clock that next morning, on Saturday morning, my mom comes in the room, and she tells me, Chris, I need you to sit up. It's 7 o'clock in the morning on a Saturday. What are y'all doing at 7 o'clock in the morning on Saturdays? Sleep. I was on my third dream. She talking about, I need you to sit up. So I'm actually, naturally, what do you want? She said, I need to tell you something. I said, tell me what? She said, I want to tell you that Chris died. I said, Chris who? She said, Chris Mosby. I said, Mom, get out of my room. That's not funny. I don't play games like that. And at that point, I saw my brother and sister walking through the door. They're bawling uncontrollably. And at that moment, I knew that my best friend had gotten killed. He got killed in a car wreck. A rainy night, fell asleep at the wheel, went into somebody's yard, hit a tree. The car flipped, came down on him, killed him instantly. So at that point, that was the hardest thing that I've ever been through in my life to that point. Having a kid that was just like my brother, man, to die so tragically. I went through a point where I was mad at God. I was like, why would you take a dude that had everything? He was an All-American football player. He had everything he wanted to in the world. But you took him from me. So I was mad at God. But God revealed to me, even when I wasn't living the life, God still revealed to me. He's like, you know what? That shows you how in control I am. I took your buddy without even a blink of my eye. What that showed me, my life isn't my own. I have no control over what I'm doing. God took that instance and used it in my life. That was hard for me to get over, but I lived my life and I went on. My senior year, I get that same kind of recruitment that Chris got. I could go anywhere I wanted to play football, man. And I prayed about it. God led me to the University of Tennessee, thinking it's going to be the best time of my life. I signed on signing day. I remember telling my mom, if every play that I play, every snap that I take, every sack that I get, every tackle that I get, it's going to be for Chris because I'm doing something that he's not able to do. So every snap that I played, every down that I played at Tennessee was for my boy because he wasn't able to be there. But I knew that he was watching. So I go through my career at Tennessee, man. It was an up and down. If any of y'all are Tennessee fans, up and down. 3 head coaches in 4 years, 5 strength coaches in 4 years, 3 position coaches. It was just up and down, up and down, up and down. But I was still able to do my thing on the field. I remember, man, my freshman year going into it, I never knew anything about FCA. We didn't have an FCA at my high school, so I was like, FCA, what is FCA? Our chaplain came and grabbed me. He's like, I want you to come to this retreat. And I remember Sparkman talking about that night, February 2008. I was at that same retreat with him. That was the first time I was able to truly see that you could be an athlete, but you could also be sold out for Jesus Christ. That was the moment that I took that next step in my relationship. I was like, you know what, God, I want to get real about you. That's that time that I got real. February 2008 was I got real with my relationship with Christ. Was everything easy? Was everything good like people say it is? No. Being a Christian is not easy. God doesn't want us comfortable because when we're comfortable, we lose dependence on him. So I wasn't comfortable in my growing up with my best friend dying. I wasn't comfortable with my mom and dad being divorced. I wasn't comfortable with having 3 head coaches in 4 years. But God was building me. My junior year, I get to play, man, probably the best ball I've ever played in my career. Had an opportunity to leave school early to go to the NFL, and I remember Chap was there, Mary Beth Hood. We went over to her house, and her husband, my pops, we talked, man, and we prayed for about 3 hours, man, about what I should do. And God told me, I'm not done with you at Tennessee yet. So I'm like, yes, Lord, I'm going to obey you and I'm going to go. So I came back to Tennessee. My senior year was terrible. Just didn't play well. Still had an opportunity, man, to go and play in the NFL. I remember after my senior season, one of my best friends at the time, Nick Rivez, we went to the same church, and we went down to the altar and we prayed, God, if this is what you want us to do with football, open those doors and allow us to walk through them. But if this is not what you want us to do with football, close that door so abruptly that we know only you did it. So the lockout ends. I get a call from the Baltimore Ravens. Coach's like, hey, do you want to be a Baltimore Raven? Obviously, I'm like, yes, sir. I'm jumping up and down in my apartment complex, screaming. I'm like, my dream's coming true. Next thing that happens, I go to Baltimore, fly out the next day. I'm up there 2 days. I go through my physical, getting ready to sign my contract. The player personnel guy comes in, he says, look, man, we found something in your knee that we're not willing to take a chance on. So we're going to have to release you without playing a snap, without putting on a helmet, without putting on shoulder pads. My dream of playing in the NFL was over. Now, most of you, basketball is your God. Football was not my God. Football was what I did, not who I was. So when God took that opportunity for me to play my dream out, was I mad? No. Was I upset? No. Was I wanting to play football? Yes. But I prayed a specific prayer. God, this is what you want me to do. If this is not what you want me to do, close that door. God closed that door. and I knew that it was him. So what opportunity did that lead to? It led me to coming on staff with FCA and being here in Chattanooga. But my message to you guys is, through all kind of adversity, God is still God. I can sit here and look at the Brainer guys and going through being their huddle leader, going through games. You face so many ups and downs and runs in a game. In football, you face so many ups and downs. In life, you face so many ups and downs. But the one constant is God is always constant. He's never changing. He's the same today, yesterday. He's going to be the same forever. And for you guys that came to know him,
King is the King of the Jews. He's the King of Israel.
That's my king. Basically saying it. But man, seriously, for those of you who made decisions last night for Christ, I want it to be real for you. I don't want it to be an emotional thing that you came and did because your teammates did it. I want it to be real for you. Because without Jesus in your life, the ups and downs, they're going to continue to be ups and downs and ups and downs. But when you have Jesus here, you're going up and up and up. Those downs may come down a little bit, but you're never going to plummet because God will not let you go that far. He will never put you through something that you can't handle. That's what I've had to learn in my life. I've been through more than any other 23-year-old that I know. But that was God testing me. God said he is most glorified when we're most satisfied. I am most satisfied right now doing what I'm doing. Would I like to play football? Yeah. But when I get to heaven, are those rings that I was going to get, are they going to be valuable when I get to heaven? No. God's going to look at them, throw them over his shoulder. What is that? What did you do with the people that I put in front of you? I am most satisfied being a servant of the King. That's what I'm doing. That's what I want for you guys. That's my heart for you guys. As I look out of here, I want people to be changed by what y'all are doing. By when y'all go back to Giles County, when y'all go back to Brandon, when y'all go back to Lookout Valley, people can look at that team and be like, those kids are different. That's what I want. I want men to step up. We don't need any boys playing around anymore. If you're going to be a boy, get out of our way because we're moving up. We're in a war for the King, period. If you don't want to fight, get out the way. We're going to fight for what our King wants us to fight for. That's what I want. I want men to step up and fight with me. I know Sam's going to fight with me. I know Spartan's going to fight with me. I know George's going to fight with me. We got guys that are going to fight. I want y'all to fight with us. That's the challenge that I'm giving to you. If you're going to fight, you're going to fight. If you're not, get out the way. We're moving forward for the King. I want y'all to know that we love you. And the only reason why we're doing this is because we want to see radical life change for Jesus Christ. And that's what's happening in this camp. We want y'all to take that radical life change to your schools. So I'm really appreciative, man, for Zach to ask me to come up here and talk to you. I know it's kind of long, but that was my heart. That's what God gave me for you. I want to pray for us real quick, and then I'll turn it back over to Zach.